Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
I'll mute.
Welcome, General.
Hello. Can't be able to hear him, so
This is Preston. I'm not really Lorraine Cotton.
I can't hear anything. Why?
General, I'm going to mute you.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was kind of fun hearing you talk to yourself.
I'm still on mute, correct?
Say again?
Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening. It's 6 o'clock. So let's get started. Welcome. I'm Leila Van. I'm the DNCL president. We'll just jump right in because we've got a full agenda. Approval of the minutes. I've got two people, one approval of the minutes, making a motion in 1 second. All All in favor, you'll see something on the screen. Submit. Thank you. Moving on to the financial membership report. Chris couldn't make it, so I'll do that. We have $1,766.88 and 90 residential memberships and 21 associate business memberships. And with that, we will move on to Alan Driscoll, our CRO. Take it away, Alan.
I'm here. Easy one this month. I haven't seen these numbers this low in a long time, so happy to report there's only 7 car larcenies last month, 2 attempted stolen vehicles, and that's it for the month of April. And numbers are still low in May, so I'm available for any questions if anybody has anything.
Well, I hope you can keep it that way. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we appreciate you and your
Yes, ma'am.
staff. Please let them know that we appreciate all of them.
Will do.
Thank you. All right, next up, Mary is doing other things with planning a wedding with her daughter. So we have Rachel. Maybe Rachel's not on yet. Audrey, are you on?
I am on. How are you this evening?
Great. Take it away then.
All right. Just to go over a few things. We've mostly been focusing over in MacArthur Square area, as well as over by Fountain Park Garage, just making sure we're extra present because we know we've had a few issues in that area. Otherwise, we've had 2 successful events down at the plot, including our plot volunteer day. So that was really nice. And we do have the Glow Ride coming up this Friday night. I believe it starts at 8:30, and that's going to start up at the plot, as well as Friday being the Bike to Work meeting, or Bike to Work meeting, sorry.
Okay, I think I saw Rachel come back on.
Hey, Preston.
Hi,
Sorry,
Rachel.
I should know better that you guys start at before 6.
No, we start at 6, Rachel.
At 6:02, Leila.
I'm quick.
What can I tell you? What do you guys need to know?
You're on. So Audrey covered her stuff, and mentioned the Bike to Work. So anything else you want to, and the Glow Ride, anything else you want to mention?
Well, for those of the residents that also work in downtown, we are doing employee appreciation this month. So we're hosting some really cool promotional things, also some events. We're doing a free ice cream giveaway next Wednesday during lunchtime, just as a way to say thank you for all of the employees in downtown. And then they can also participate in our survey and enter a chance to win $500. So you just have to tell us what you love about working in downtown. So it's all on our website and our social media. So thank you to our workers.
Thank you. We appreciate you all. Okay, let's move on to our guest speakers. We have Tiffany and Marie. Are you guys on from HRT?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, take it away.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Marie Arndt, Tiffany McLean, and Royal Ryan. We're going to talk to you about light rail safety. As you know, we opened the tag back in August of 2011. But prior to that, we had to engage in a large safety campaign, included, schools, the local residents, anybody who would have crossed the track, including areas outside of Norfolk. We had a lot of programs that we did. We kicked off with the festival and such like that. And so the graphic you see up here was one of our original graphics that we used. We took the word safety and just kind of broke it down to different statements and such like that. The kids really had a good time with it. Anytime it's train time and tracks for trains. That's one thing they always remembered. But over the years, we've had to change, kind of evolve with our light rail safety because of behavior around the tracks. So we are getting ready to kick off another campaign coming up in the spring of this year. You go next slide. Y'all remember the duck when it came down here? In this picture is Safety. He is our mascot that we introduced back in 2010. So he had to go out there and be with the duck and just kind of get his picture taken. We took him to a lot of schools and things like that. He still exists. No one's around to wear the costume anymore, but we still have him. But he does bring back a lot of memories for us when we look at this picture. So just wanted to bring out a little funny there for you guys. Next slide. Operation Lifesaver is an international organization. Their goal is to educate people on rail safety, whether you're in a car, you're a walking pedestrian using a bike, when you're near the tracks where there's gated crossings, and even trespassing. These are some of the things that we really enforced when we started the time, when we opened it. We continue to enforce that. We do see people that, you know, think they want to cross that track or beat the train. So it's just a message that's continuing on. We have partnered with Operation Lifesaver for well over a decade. We continue to utilize a lot of their messages, but we also gear it towards our train, our area that we're in and such like that. We received the grant for this campaign. This is our third time getting this grant. If you remember back in 2018, I believe was the last time, you saw these sidewalk clings down around downtown. Also, we had put a wrap on the articulated section of the train. We did posters and a lot of education in the downtown area. So, next slide. So the 2023 safety campaign, as we say, we look at people's behavior around the trains and such like that. There are several areas that we're going to be focusing on, Hamilton Avenue and 2nd Street. I don't know if you all remember back in 2011, prior to opening, our first incident was at this corner of 2nd Street and Hamilton Avenue. Young man came across the tracks and hit the side of the train. Before the operator could get out of the train and go out, the person had left the vehicle behind. And so when they finally located this person, the police did, they asked why he didn't stay. He goes, well, I was going to a meeting, so I just went back and got another car. So that was the first incident we ever had. And we have a lot of signage in this area, but drivers are ignoring the red light. They're ignoring the blank out signs that we have. We also, the path, Elizabeth River Trail goes across here too. So we put up extra signage for those that ride their bikes or walk the trail. And of course, the stop, look, and listen is a message that Operation Lifesaver has had for years. So, and we'll be focused in this area. Monticello Avenue Station is another area with pedestrians. We have people that just jump off the platform onto the tracks, you know, trying to get to the 7-Eleven or back. So that's a lot of the pedestrians there. So we will focus on that as well too. So we want to make sure, you know, like scooters and things like that, they're not allowed on the tracks. So anyway, but that's one of the areas we're going to look at. And then also Brampton Avenue, York Street, and Botetourt. We have a lot of with the pedestrian people crossing on their bikes. We've had a couple serious, you know, close calls there with especially people on bikes. So we want to make sure that people are aware of the signs that are there, why they're there. It's important that they obey those signs because it's all about safety down there. So anyway, in the next one. So we're going to let Royal take on this part here, and she will talk about our new campaign coming up.
Yeah, thank you, Marie. Thank you, everybody. So I'm just going to briefly go over kind of what some of the things that we're actually going to be doing starting within the next couple of months, running through till about the end of the year. Of course, you know, train safety is 365, 24/7, but these are the things we're really going to be highlighting as well. I'm not going to go through every single thing. I'm just going to point out a few of the highlights that we're really excited about. So we are actually wrapping an entire Tide train this year to promote the different safety messages that we have. You know, so looking both ways before crossing over the tracks, things like that. We've designed a train wrap, so there's going to be an actual Tide train going all through, you know, Norfolk, downtown Norfolk, that is going to have like those messages on it to remind people. I've seen the design; it's really eye-catching. We're super excited about it. So once we have that official like launch date for when that's going to be, when you can actually start to see the train rolling out, we'll make sure to spread that message and let everybody know. We are going to have an entire street team, is what we're calling it, of Hampton Roads Transit public outreach employees, right? So Marie, Tiffany, and I, we are all on the public outreach team. We have a couple of other staff members as well too. So we're going to be going out, hitting the ground running, right? Boots on the ground to come out and kind of talk with different businesses and residences. So if you live in any apartment complexes, or maybe you're a business owner at any of the businesses that were listed, you know, are in those areas near those stations that Marie just mentioned, we would love to come out. If you're a restaurant, we would love to come and maybe drop some posters to you that talk about, you know, seeing tracks, think trains, things like that. I will drop my contact information in the chat at the end of this, just in case, you know, for anybody who's interested. But maybe you're a property manager, or you're a property owner, you know, you lease different properties, and those properties are kind of within these different areas. We would love to come out and talk to your residents or your leasees as well too, just to kind of encourage them and any employees that you might have, you know, about train safety, rail safety, things like that. So we're going to be coming and potentially placing rack cards and things like that too. So those, like I said, that full bulleted list is, you know, has all of the different things that we're looking to do as part of this campaign. Move to the next slide. All right, so we wanted to end on what we always end all of our Operation Lifesaver Train Safety campaign presentations on, is just reminding everybody about that, right? No matter how many years that we have been doing this campaign, that message always stays the same, right? So we always break down the acronym of safety, right? Remembering to stay alert, don't get hurt, right? Always be paying attention, you know, to signs and things like that. You know, being aware of the fact that any time is train time, right? You know, even though our train operates on a set schedule of every 15 minutes, you know, we could be running tests, you know, there could be some issues on the track and they're, you know, running a test train, or maybe they're cleaning the tracks late at night, right? You know, so paying attention to, you know, those train tracks, forget the shortcuts, right? A lot of people just think, okay, well, it's easier for me to get across the street if I cross here and not at a crosswalk, right? We never want to cross the street without a pedestrian crosswalk. We always want to make sure that we are using the crosswalks. They are there for a reason. Remembering that everybody should obey signs and signals. And then the biggest ones, right? Tracks are for trains, right? They are not for cars. They're not for people. So let's not be on the tracks. Let's leave those for the trains. And then finally, right, for why we have like you, right? Because safety starts with you. If you're a third grader, you would probably tell me at this point that safety actually starts with S, not you. However, right, you know, we know as a general tool that safety really starts with us. It's up to us to, you know, keep these in mind, especially as we're getting closer to the summer. Things are going to get really busy, especially downtown with, you know, all the different festivals and things like that coming up. So, you know, definitely keep these things in mind. Does anybody have any questions for us?
I don't see any in the chat either. Well,
Hey,
that was
Leland.
quick.
Hey,
Yeah,
Leland.
well, there
It's
you
Matthew.
go.
Hey, guys. So what about the safety actually at the train stations when guests getting on and off with the issues we've been having with some of the homeless and people like begging and asking for things at the train station stops itself? How do y'all help control those stations itself for safety for the riders you have?
That's a great question, Matthew. So, yep. So we actually have an entire security team. We have our own security force. So if you ever run across that, you're ever concerned about the unhoused population that is down there in downtown Norfolk, potentially, you know, unfortunately harassing customers, things like that, or any of our riders, you're more than welcome to call us at our customer service number. I'll drop that in the chat as well. I'll drop our website too. Or you can send me an email and I can get you in touch with our safety and security teams. But we have an actual security team that they go out to different stations. They can't go to those if people don't tell them
Right.
what's going on at those. So definitely calling our customer service number as well too is going to be really important to let people know about that.
Yeah, it would be, especially as we know, we have a couple of stations that are very heavily populated lately. That's causing a few more issues than others. So we'll be glad to.
We have some off-duty police officers as well from the city of Norfolk that they contract with us too. But it all goes back to that security team. So definitely making sure that we're like letting people know. So we'll pass that information along as well too. Do you know off the top of your head, just generally kind of where you tend to see that the most?
MacArthur.
MacArthur Square, yep.
I think a lot of departments have been trying to help with that, and if that's also y'all's responsibility, that'd be helpful.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Awesome.
y'all. We'll
Thanks,
be
y'all.
seeing you out there this summer.
Okay. All right, next up is the City Planning Commission projects and the ARB projects. Preston, take it away.
All right, we've got a few conditional use permits to hear from about today, but there's one that's not listed here. I just want to mention to you because it's didn't really feel that it merited a presentation. That was we got a CUP from Bugatti's. No changes in their operation. Really is just a change in who's in the manager. So just got that today. We'll take a look at it, and it should be non-eventful here. So we got three, and we're not going in the order that they're listed, but we'll start with Ordinaire, and that would be Lisa Murphy and Lily. Go ahead.
Thank you, Preston. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
And on this screen, I've got Kalila Shabazz and Lasanya Green, who are also, they are the owners, so they're available to answer questions as well. And we thank you for having us tonight. Lale Hospitality Group, which is made up of Kalila and Lasanya, would like to turn the former Brothers space at 200 East Plume Street into a restaurant they call Ordinaire, which is a modern day Gula Geechee experience. And if you're like me, you may not know till the end of this what Gula Geechee food is, but we will get to that. The proposed two-story location was selected by them as the perfect location to really harness Southern hospitality. And the visionaries, the ladies on the screen behind this brand, saw no better fit or better venue to bring a taste of Charleston, South Carolina to Norfolk. And those are that is the power leadership team. Both owners are proven entrepreneurs and small business owners, and they look forward to really bringing their love of upscale culinary arts to downtown. Both will be serving as on-site managers. And as I said, they're here to speak as well. I'll just go over their backgrounds. Lasanya is a native of Charleston, South Carolina. She is a loving mother and a wife. She's got a bachelor's in social work from Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina, a master's of social work from Howard University. And she comes from a family of food providers. Her mother had a heart to help folks. And from that, she grew to really have food as one of her love languages and serving people. Let's see, her managerial experience comes from working in Charleston restaurants and assisting family members with their catering business. Next screen. Kalila Shabazz has a master's in public administration from ODU, and she also believes in serving her community. She's been a mental health advocate in the region for over 20 years. And she thinks, and I think this is critical, that after the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic with the mental health issues that we really have and people are facing, we need to bring back happy spaces so that people can rebound from being shut in for so long. She volunteers her time in the community. She also has 10 years experience in food service industry and has maintained a leadership role with her family's Supreme Fish Delight restaurant in Oakland, California. She is a mother of two and she has one grandchild. So what is it that we're doing? So the Gula Geechee food is inspired by the coastal and the sea islands, so the low country of coastal Georgia and coastal South Carolina. And their hope is to bring that to this existing space, which is already beautifully laid out and beautifully designed. So they really are able to move in and not have to do a whole lot of work here. Their menu is going to highlight the region's best, such as Charleston chic crab soup, shrimp and grits, fried chicken, crab and rice, okra soups, shark steak, and cornbread muffins, which are my favorite, in traditional sweetgrass baskets. They're bringing an executive chef from Charleston, from the Low Country, to bring this authentic cuisine to Hampton Roads. And I Googled it because I hadn't heard of Gullah Geechee food. But according to Southern Food Magazine online, it is the next big thing in Southern food. It's very similar to Creole style food, a lot of rice-based dishes. And they can speak a little bit more to that if you go to the next slide. So the operations of the restaurant, they'll be closed on Monday, but they're applying for a conditional use permit for restaurant with alcohol sales. They'll be open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday, 11 a.m. to midnight, Saturday, 10 to midnight, and then Sunday, they'll have a really nice Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. and then a dinner at 7 p.m. Parking, as you know, will be in the nearby city garages. They will not be open after hours. They will not provide entertainment. Given everything going on downtown, we talked a lot about that, and that is not something that they're going to be doing at this time. This will be the first restaurant of its kind serving Gullah Geechee cuisine, and we think it's a great way to bring this new type of food and the next trend in Southern food to downtown. They're excited about being downtown. They think there's a great opportunity in that space to provide this wonderful food to out-of-town visitors. You've got the Maine close by, but also locals and the lunch crowd that you've got downtown, certainly during the business week. Next slide. So I mentioned the conditional use permit. We'll be applying for a conditional use permit to operate a restaurant with alcohol sales, and that'll be, we plan on filing that by the June 12th filing deadline. They're in the process now of working out a lease with the landlord. They have not secured that yet. We anticipate that if we meet that filing deadline, that the application will be heard on July 27th by Planning Commission, and then it'll go to council in August. As I mentioned, they can reuse the existing equipment and furniture and the layout. So it'll be very similar on the inside to what was there when Brothers was open. And the ladies look forward to being good neighbors and to becoming a part of the vibrant downtown community. With that, I will ask them if they want to say anything. They're the passion, this is their passion, and this is something that they very much want to do together. So I want you to get an idea for how passionate they are about this restaurant and this food.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lasagna Green, and unfortunately, several years ago, my mom experienced a stroke. So with that being said, I just wanted to bring the flavors, the Gullah Geechee taste to Hampton Roads. I want to bring recipes from my mom's okra soup, her shark steak, her red rice, and of course, those cornbread muffins. So I look forward to serving everyone in the Hampton Roads area and just making sure that we prepare and just make sure that we bring that love from Charleston, the Low Country area, to Virginia.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Kalila Shabazz. Just kind of echoing what Ms. Murphy shared with the Civic League here, Ms. Van. Thank you for allowing us to present tonight. Exactly what my partner said. We are so excited about just bringing something new in Southern cuisine to downtown Norfolk. As the presentation indicated, I'm a mental health advocate. I've worked in that industry, in addition to the food service industry, for lots of years. And while the immediate effects of the pandemic are hopefully getting further and further behind us, we know that people need happy spaces to come enjoy in dinner, just family time. And we're really hoping to add to more of that in downtown Norfolk. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Are there any questions for these ladies? Well, I've had the opportunity to stop into Fusky Island, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all are doing. So, well, thank you very, very much. Appreciate your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Preston, I'll send you a copy of the application later this evening, if that's okay.
Great. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
All right. Next, we have the General Lewis is going to tell us about a couple of restaurants that he's proposing to bring it to downtown Norfolk. The Black Spice and the General Public, Granby. Okay, General?
Good
You're
evening,
on.
everyone. General Lewis here. Yes, I'm trying to bring two different ideas to downtown Suffolk. The General Public is more of a fast, casual cuisine. Everything is from scratch kitchen. They've been established since 2019 in Suffolk, and then we open up an express version inside of Newport News. Just for me, extremely experienced as far as food, cuisine, steakhouses, gourmet rooms. I'm from Jersey. Been in the food industry, Marriott's, all over country clubs. So food is my heart and my love. As those that know that experience the experience of General Public. So I really truly look forward to bringing it to downtown Norfolk with part of my venture, and which is the other of Black Spice. Black Spice is definitely it's more of an international cuisine, if you will. Very eclectic. It's going inside the previous corn company, so it's a petite space, but it's going to bring a lot of power, a lot of flavors, which I really look forward to. It's definitely, how can I put it? It's definitely going to be unique, if you will, and will bring a lot of character to be a part of the downtown Norfolk area. Next slide. I know here it says the current contracts, but since I've been here, I kind of acquired quite a few contracts since I've been here with the corporate, because I started off doing corporate contracts, me being in actually Nauticus Museum at one point in time for 3 years, actually. But once the pandemic hit, it actually actually dropped off with the government contracts because they wasn't doing too much food inside of the locations. So that's when I opened up General Public in 2019, right before the pandemic. We survived the hump, so now here we are moving forward to coming to downtown Norfolk and bringing a nice flair and be a part of the team. Oh, yeah, the business hours, we're going to apply for the conditional use to be until 12 o'clock, but the hours will be between 10 and 12. I guess 12 will probably be if there is an event or something that's really needed, but more than likely we'll be closing around that 10 o'clock hour. The impact reductions, there will not be any impact as far as traffic, just from my knowledge, unless I have a line out the door, which I hope to. But other than that, I don't believe it has any impact to either pedestrian or the residents. Actually the locations are pretty much the same. The decor will be different. Any handicap accessible or whatever that was already established is still in existence, which it does meet all the disability or handicap accessibles to obtain, to be able to dine inside of the restaurants. Next slide. Oh, yes. Expand once again, as I mentioned earlier, qualification wise, I'm just, food is everything to me. So I've been to, like, I went to school in Florida. I went to college in Florida. Went to culinary school in Florida. Came back to Jersey. Just started just being a little more aggressive in the food industry. I'm 6'6", so I used to play basketball. So I got away from that and fell in love with food. And here we are, about to be trying to be a part of Norfolk now. Yes. Oh, definitely. So, I mean, obviously, we know with the pandemic coming, we are actually on the other side of the pandemic, and the job industry has been actually challenging, I'm assuming, for everybody. But I'm just hoping to be able to bring multiple opportunities in such an aggressive manner on so many levels with employment. So I'm just really looking forward to putting out the job opportunities that I do have available. And yes, and again, with the inviting space, diversity menu, variety patrons. I mean, I think anyone that's able to eat, no matter what the restrictions are, they will be able to eat because everything is done from scratch. 90% of the menu can be altered to kind of accommodate vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, or whatever the case may be. But that's definitely something we'll be able to provide. And hopefully, with the outside dining space would be definitely another exception for the restaurant as well. I think I'm on mute.
No, you're not. So I have a
Oh.
question though.
Yes.
Are you planning to use the outdoor space that's provided in front of the old Cork and Company?
I am. I actually yellow taped it for now
Thanks.
until I have to meet with the young lady,
Susan?
Sharon,
Oh,
from WPA Works
okay. Mhm.
for outdoor dining.
Yeah, Leela, WPA is consulting with on new or revised street eateries. So Sharon
great.
is taking in applications and helping applicants get all set
Excellent.
up.
Excellent.
Yes.
You have good help.
Yes. So
yes.
yes, I plan on it. So as of now, like I said, I yellow taped it just to keep just so people can see. I'm trying to stay off of it as of now until we come up to a solution to get
Now-
it fixed and move forward with it.
Is
And
there
Jen-
outdoor space at the 147?
It
was.
isn't. It's the old Cheerio restaurant.
okay.
It was at one point. So I'm trying to get it back. Well, again, same thing applies. I will
Got
be
it.
meeting with
Got it.
Sharon as well for both locations.
Okay, excellent.
Quick question. Can you explain again the difference between the two restaurants, the style of food for
Ooh.
each of those?
Jeez, night and day. General Public is a great fast casual restaurant that brings, like we do. I'm calling them exotic bowls, obviously because they mine, but we do like coconut curry shrimp bowls. It's just an eclectic feel of food on the fast casual side. The bowls, the burgers, the wings, and things of that nature to really give it character. So the bowls and the burgers is our main attraction for that particular concept. Black Spice is more on a upper scale cuisine, more of fluffs and, if you will, like more of a sea bass type of style. It would be, how can I put it? I'm gonna give it a happy medium. That 35 to 35 and under plate. Definitely be an international cuisine, as I mentioned earlier, but it's just gonna be more of an eclectic feel flavor-wise, and just to be a little more aggressive.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? So the Black Spice is where the old Cork and Company was, and
Yes.
the general public is where the old Cheerio to go.
Cheerio to go, yes.
Okay. Any other questions for general?
There's some in the chat.
Okay, let me open that up.
Any plans for entertainment is one of them.
Okay.
No entertainment for either location.
And
And
what
then-
is Suffolkopoly?
Oh, man, that's interesting. Suffolkopoly is something that actually, I guess the monopoly group, they go around to each cities and other locations to acquire a Monopoly style game for that particular city. And we didn't know anything about it until we actually went to pay our taxes. And the guy was like, "Well, you on a Monopoly board?" And we like, "What are you talking about?" And it's we end up being on the Monopoly board, which is pretty interesting. That they actually highlighted us into the Monopoly board, and we didn't know anything about it. So I actually have about 30 of them in my garage because but it's just it's more or less like a Monopoly board where they highlighted us on there, which was pretty cool. Me being from Atlantic City and Monopoly coming from there, so it was kind of great for me actually. So, but it's a game. If
Okay,
somebody want one, just let me know. I have one for you.
all right. Any other questions for General? All right, well, thank you very much, General. Appreciate your presentation.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next is Primetime Sports Bar, which is proposed to be located at 257 Granby Street, presented by Quashel Parker and CJ Upton. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay, CJ.
Hello. Hey, how are you guys? Basically, we already have, we don't have much of a presentation for you. We do have where I've already hired the architect firm to begin building out a space. So if you go to that slide where I can just show them the build out.
I don't have a presentation from you, CJ.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we started basically it's next door to Prime 255, and we're gonna just add another element to Prime 255. It's gonna be a sports bar side. We're gonna be, it's another space I think that it can operate great in the city. I think as Prime 255, we already has exemplified the type of character business that we do. We haven't had not one issue there. We've definitely operated on a high level. So it's just an extension of what we have going on there, but just having a sports bar side to it. I'm not considering having entertainment there, being that Prime 255 has that. And maybe if you have been inside Prime 255, we're gonna make maybe where you can see through a tempered glass type of situation. I will be applying for outside dining, and if you could visualize how I have the awning now, changing the outside decor with an awning that stretches across both of the buildings, and looking to have something similar to how 219 or has their, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I did talk to Susan about that. We have to just make sure we're not encouraging that much into the right of way. And that's basically all I have. I mean, we already, as I said before, I think we've already proven ourselves in the city. And you got a hometown Norfolk guy that has done that and has, as far as myself, I think I've done a great job with representing a Norfolk native here.
CJ, what kind of hours are you looking at?
So, okay, so I'm thinking about opening. I know I'll be open on Monday because I want to be around the game times. But can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking about, so Monday we'll do till 12. I won't open past 12 o'clock Monday through Thursday. The weekends I would do until Friday I'll do till 1 a.m. and Saturday be from 12 noon every day. But yeah, open from noon till 1, and then on Sunday I do 12 to 12. So so I can surround myself around whatever sports is happening throughout the week.
Okay. Anything else that you want to share with us, CJ?
No, not much. I think I don't know who's on here that does know of Prime, but we're gonna just operate at the same. We're just expanding the space that we have now and adding a sports bar element. On the other side, we will still, our decor will still be of a high quality. It won't just be just some sports bar. We'll make it look right, and like I say, we'll keep it classy.
Hey CJ, it's Matthew real fast. Are
Hey,
y'all
Ma-
running as two separate entities, or are you falling all into one ABC license and same
it-
kitchen?
I talked with David Livengood, and so he already said I don't need to do anything else with my liquor license. It'll operate under one. Yes.
And two
It's
separate
just
kitchens?
say again.
Are you doing two separate kitchens also, or using the same kitchen?
Yes, so it's gonna be two separate kitchens. This will have a different element of food. It'll be
Yeah.
more bar food, but still with our own homemade style, like some seafood egg rolls, things like that, quesadillas. You still get some fries or things that you can't get in the main dining area. You'll be able to get something fast, and it'll cater more even to like lunchtime because we such of a dining experience and a vibe. We miss the lunchtime people because they don't have, so we want something a little fast. You can get in and out if you want to as well. I am thinking about cutting down the walls to the interior. Just not opening it, but maybe a door that you can add right by our current stairwell where you could pass through. Yes, but that door will be open and closed door.
So it won't be just one space, it'll be two different spaces.
Correct.
Okay. Other questions? Okay. Well, CJ, thank you very much. Appreciate you
Hey,
coming and
thank you.
talking to us.
I appreciate you.
All right. Guess that moves us into announcements.
Oh, Preston, did you not want to talk about the building next to Gershwin's?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Leila. We also were asked about demolition of 330 Granby Street. And for those of you who are familiar with that location, it's condemned right now. It's actually kind of a dangerous building. And we were asked if we had any issues with that being demolished or demoed. And I think it'd actually be make it a little safer area. We have not been approached with what would go into that space yet. And so the expectation is once those plans are firmed up, then the Civic League would have a presentation for any future use of that space. Any questions about that? All right.
No, appreciate it though.
Yeah, I do, Preston. I thought, has the applicant come to the Civic League yet? Have they shared anything?
The applicant I met before the first of the year, I was contacted, and I met with Peter Reedy, who is the owner of the building, and
Yes.
And when he explained to me what he was thinking about and where he was, it became apparent to me that they weren't quite ready to talk to us about and in any kind of detail about what they wanted to do. But in order to do anything, that building would have to come down. So so they're in that first step, getting that clearance to have it demolished, if you will. I don't know. Have you spoken with them, Rachel?
We have met with him a couple of times. I would just respectfully ask that the Civic League really consider everything he's doing before you decide to support or not the application to demo the building. It's a contributing structure. So I would just want to hear more about what it is he plans on doing.
When you say contributing structure, what do you mean?
It's a part of the historic overlay district. So
okay, so maybe we can talk about that then in some detail, because
yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
I don't have a real appreciation for what that means. So okay, thanks, Rachel.
Also, I just want to make sure if they do tear it down, that it looks how the condition is during the downtime, that we don't have another empty lot for years to come. that there's truly a plan to take the place of that building, not just an empty lot like we already have down Granby Street before we
Mhm.
start diving into something. And what
Okay.
and who's maintaining that lot and who is responsible for anything that goes on in that lot during the downtime.
I would think that would be the owner. So,
Well, you would think, but we know how that goes downtown. And I don't
okay.
want to call on DNC or the Civic League to be maintaining another lot or plot of land that graffitis, has crime, scooter waste, bike waste. I'm just saying, we just need to figure very what that looks like in a prime real estate downtown.
Good point. Thank you.
Yeah, all good points that we will consider and work with you guys on. So thank you.
You got it.
All right, thank you, Preston.
All right.
now announcements. I think we have Nate online. Nate,
Hey,
take it away.
great. Well, thanks for having me back. So I just want to talk with you all briefly, just for about 5 minutes, with some updates about Nauticus and talk to you a little bit about what we've accomplished from an educational standpoint this year. So if you can move to the next slide, and you look at the mission of Nauticus, and I have circled on that next slide the word education, which is what Nauticus is all about. And we also want to become the leading maritime discovery center in all of the Mid-Atlantic region. And so I know some of you have heard about the new renovations that are going on at Nauticus. And we just opened phase 1, our first new gallery, and what is going to become 7 in a year from now. And so I'm not sure if if we can move through the PowerPoint slide down to maybe the next one, please. Yeah, so I'm not sure when the last time you've all been to Nauticus, but this is sort of an outline of the building. And in 1 year, it will be completely renovated. And if you go to the next slide, we can show you the artist rendition of our first exhibit, which is called Norfolk in Time. And the next slide will actually show you what it looks like today. It is absolutely beautiful. And this new gallery is a celebration of the resiliency of the people and the town of Norfolk, Virginia. And it's really, really exciting. So if you wouldn't mind just kind of scrolling through the next couple of slides, it will give you a little outline of what that exhibit looks like. On Father's Day weekend, Nauticus, or Aquaticus, excuse me, will be opening up, which is for our preschool age kids. But I can tell you what, most of the staff at Nauticus have already gone down this really cool slide that is behind the schooner Virginia, which on the next slide, if you move over, you can see there's, sorry, we can stay there. But really what I wanted to talk to you all today is the impactfulness of our education programs at Nauticus. And so Norfolk in Time, again, is a celebration of the community, and we have some buzzwords. So strong, daring, inventive, impactful, determined, and resilient. And so we wanted all of our students in the city to be able to see themselves in this new exhibit and see that they are a part of this story. So if you can move to the next slide, please. What we decided to do was scrap all of our education programming and really start anew with what we call the STEM to STERN curriculum. And what this is to make STEM programming, which is super important, and it's a celebration of all these amazing jobs here, but to make it impactful to our students and our youth, you have to connect life stories to those. And so connecting history and the future to those STEM is really going to make it impactful for our students. So we designed all of these new education programs that are directly tied to our exhibit. And if you could go to the next slide, I just really briefly want to share one quick story with you. If you remember last time I was here, I talked to you how I went around to all the local schools in the area and talked to the students and the staff about what Nauticus was missing. and what we could do to excite them and bring them in. And the general thought I heard was that Nauticus wasn't for them, and they didn't see themselves reflected in Nauticus. And super understandable, and we needed to do better. So for myself, my grandfather was a lighthouse keeper. And so I can see myself being a lighthouse keeper. And everyone and every student should be able to look at a lighthouse and learn about a lighthouse and imagine themselves in there, and not just some, old white man with a beard. And so William Roscoe Davis was born on Todd's Farm in Norfolk into slavery, and was contraband and escaped himself across the river at Fort Monroe, and became a real leader in the community, and was given the first job as a first African-American lighthouse keeper, where he was paid $660 a year, which was the exact same salary that every other lighthouse keeper in the United States made. And he kept the beaches in front of Old Point Comfort Lighthouse, a place where the community could come and swim and feel free. And so to tell not only the technology of how lighthouses work and the science of that, but also tell that human story where every student in this community can see themselves in that story, is what we're trying to do here at Nauticus, and make these programs impactful for these students and be proud of the history and all of the history that is in this region. So if you could go to the next slide, and one more time, 890. That is the number of students, if you could go to the next slide, please, at Southside STEM Academy in Camp Ostella. If you remember last time I was here, I told you they were our focus school this year. So all 890 students got a free outreach program where our amazing educator, you can see pictured there, Lauren, went out to the school and visited every single class this school year. 890 is also the number of Southside STEM Academy students who got to come to Nauticus free of charge for one of those amazing on-site programs that I shared with you. The next slide, if you could hit and show the next amazing number, which is 3,946. That is the number of students in Hampton Roads that came to Nauticus free of charge for an education program. And all 3,946 of those students were all Title I or from underserved schools in all of Hampton Roads. And this isn't something that the tax money is going to and city money is going to. We personally fundraised this money into what's called our Student Access Fund, where then these schools who can't afford to come for a field trip at Nauticus can come and have the same experience that those wealthier schools get to have. And so I just really wanted to share that impact, how Nauticus is not just out there trying to serve and bring in all the outside schools. We're here about our community, and that is our refocus, and we are Norfolk, and I'm really proud to make that change. And so I hope you all feel proud to be part of that downtown community. So we're really proud, and we want to bring our community here. So thank you all for, sorry, Lee, I took 7 minutes instead of 5, but I really appreciate the time letting me share our story.
That was terrific. Thank you. Can't wait to go myself. Okay, next. Our May social is Wednesday at Brothers at their new location. So please join us at 5. And Nate, I sent you a special invitation to come join us.
Well, thank you very much.
And then next month at our Zoom meeting, we're having our new police chief, Mark Talbot, as our guest speaker. So that should be very interesting, and I will solicit questions ahead of time for him. And then our social in June will be at Leone's, weather permitting, outside. So with that, that's it. And I do appreciate all of you, and I appreciate your time. So thank you, and great presentations by all our people tonight, and I appreciate your time. So thank you for sharing with us. Good night and be safe.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That was good.